Welcome all to an incredibly full house of Severance Hall, which has become the traditional site for the graduation of the Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, and I welcome our class of 2024 for this year's graduation ceremony. I'm Stan Gerson, and I have the honor and the privilege to be the Dean of the Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, and to welcome you all to commemorate this remarkable achievement for our graduating class. And for the class of 2024, you made it. This is your diploma ceremony. I speak for all of us partaking in this ceremony that we celebrate your hard work and your accomplishments, because we know that you will sustain our future. Earning a medical degree from this School of Medicine not only signifies your acquisition of knowledge, skills, compassion, ability to communicate with your patients, it also serves as a powerful symbol of your dedication to better the lives of the patients you will serve for decades to come. And we on the podium, physicians who have helped to train you, educators, researchers of our medical school, physicians representing all of our affiliated hospitals, welcome you to the deep-felt society of healers of humankind, a task that we all undertake for a lifetime. When you arrived, I counseled that your special avenue in medicine would become your residency, how you will find your next step in your journey. And I suggested that the residency would find you, that you will find that special area that you want to devote your life to. And I assume, frankly, that every one of you is very excited about your next step in just a few weeks. In addition, I want to remind you that although you'll disperse across the country, remain to be in connection with your classmates and back here at the School of Medicine on all the physicians, colleagues, and friends that you've made, because they will become your colleagues for years to come. And just as an aside, I happened to have over for brunch yesterday morning an individual that I went to college and medical school with, who we are still in touch and colleagues. A few years ago, as you can imagine. I think it's also important to acknowledge that many of our graduates today and their families were unable to experience a traditional commencement ceremony in 2020, and even missed out on coming here for white coat ceremony because of the pandemic. On the other hand, as we look back to that period and all of our medical experiences, it certainly taught us an incredible respect for the profound effect of illness and disease and the unknown, and equipped us, and certainly you all, better to handle that in the future. Today we recognize that resilience, that determination, that adaptability, and we know that you will wear it well. And I would offer 4 additional words for us to consider: passion, commitment, and risk-taking. By passion, I mean make sure you follow the dreams and work hard in your area of expertise. Take it on with incredible commitment. And by commitment, I mean follow that interest intensely. Become the expert in your field by working hard and diligently to know as much as anyone and to provide that care that you can because you're the expert in that field. And by risk-taking, I mean something a little different. And that is, we don't know everything in medicine. We are always learning. We're always making decisions about weighing odds of which we think is the best approach to take. We never always have the answer. This is not a mathematical formula. So when you take on a risk, take on the responsibility to know that you made the correct or the incorrect decision, and learn the skills of taking a calculated risk. The pursuit of medicine is a lifelong journey, and we're here to support you every point along the way. You have the opportunity to make a difference across the world with your skills and the knowledge that you have. So again, congratulations for all of you of what you've accomplished, but the future is incredibly bright for each of you. So congratulations. Today we come together to graduate 209 physicians. 162 of you passed through the university program. Please rise and be recognized. Our school started in 1843, and this has been the program with the longest history. It teaches scholarship, clinical mastery, population health sciences, leadership, now requires a research thesis, and civic professionalism. You're incredibly well prepared to move ahead into your next phase. Thank you. You may be seated. And we have 33 students graduating from the Lerner College program within the School of Medicine through the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine. Please rise and be recognized. This is a 5-year program that graduates individuals who have learned the full gambit of medicine and pursued an extra year of research to help develop their skills as clinical research physicians. Thank you, and you may be seated. And we have 11 graduates of our medical science training program who have earned both an MD and a PhD this year. Please rise. So for these folks, it was a long time since they graduated high school and college. They've been with us for 8 or 9 years. It is the most extensive and rigorous program that we offer, frankly, in the university. And we are incredibly proud of the perseverance of these individuals, and we know that they are destined for incredible careers as physician scientists that will help us discover and cure diseases for years and decades to come. They will become pioneers in their fields and have really dedicated themselves to inquiry for the rest of their lives. Thank you, and be seated. And we have 3 graduates who are physicians who also received a dental DMD in oral and maxillofacial surgery. Please rise if they're here. Here we go. Good. And I'm delighted that we offer this small but critically important program with our dental school to make sure that we train experts in oral and maxillofacial surgery, one of the few in the country that do so. So thank you and congratulations. So given this broad complexity of perspectives, background, accomplishments, you can just imagine how proud we are up here on the stage as the faculty of this exceptional class for what they have mastered and accomplished and the careers that they're looking forward to. So we would like to collectively offer our sincere gratitude that each of you selected Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine as your to pursue your application. And each of us also recognize that you don't reach these milestones alone. So I would like to recognize your family, your parents, grandparents, guardians, teachers, staff, coaches who have helped you to become graduates of this exceptional school. So congratulations. I would also like to recognize the importance of your partners, some of your children, friends, pets, support groups who have stood by you, helped wake you up in the morning and get you on your day, and provided love, support, guidance, advice, and sometimes a shoulder or a hug. So thank you to all of them. And of course, although we have a number of faculty behind me on stage, it is thousands. We have almost 4,000 full-time faculty, another 3,400 part-time faculty of the School of Medicine who participate in the education of our medical students, let alone thousands of individuals, both within the school, across the university, and across our health systems, of staff who support students along the way. And if I may, I want to just remind you to give thanks going forward to each of them as you pursue your careers. And I want to recognize the importance of this whole family of individuals who has helped you with any level of support throughout your career here. And I was commenting this morning that the folks behind me have taken an extra part of their day off to come and join us as vice deans, society deans, student affairs teams, senior associate deans, who wouldn't have missed this occasion even if it wasn't held in Severance Hall, but are committed to your careers as well and look forward to your future successes. So thank you all. So I'd like to actually introduce each of them. Each of them has had a special role in the education of our medical students. I'd like to start with our 4 senior associate deans for faculty representing our hospitals. Jamie Stoller from the Cleveland Clinic, who is the chair Education Institute at Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine. And I'd ask you all to stand one at a time. Jamie, thank you. He is a Weatherhead School of Management grad of 2001. Dan Simon from University Hospitals, President, Academic and External Affairs and Chief Scientific Officer. John Shea from Metro Health, where he is the Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer. And Bob Bonomo, class of our medical school, 1983, from Lewis Stokes Veterans Affairs Hospital, where he is the chief of the medical service. I'd next like to move on to our medical education leadership, starting with Bud Isaacson, Executive Dean for the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine. Steve Riccinati, class of 1995, Head Marshal and Associate Dean for Student Affairs. Marge Greenfield, class of 83, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs. And head of our Geiger Society. Todd Otteson, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs. And head of the Blackwell-McKinley Society. Jill Azok, class of 05. Assistant Dean for Student Affairs of the Satcher Society. Angelique Reedus McCoy, class of '01. Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and head of our Robbins Society. And Jason Lambrese, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and leads our Gerberding Society. And finally, Christine Warren, class of '09, who also is Chief Marshal, Associate Dean of Admissions and Student Affairs for the Cleveland Clinic Winter College of Medicine program. Next is Lena Mehta, lead student marshal and associate dean for admissions, whom you all know. Neil Mehta, faculty marshal, associate dean for curricular affairs of the Cleveland Clinic College program. Amy Wilson Delfas, faculty Hooder marshal and associate dean for curriculum. Anastasia Roland Seymour, associate dean for and program director and educational enhancements director. Adrian Fletcher, vice dean for diversity, equity, and inclusive excellence. Monica Yepes Reyes, assistant dean for diversity, equity, and inclusion for our students. Marvin Neiman, vice dean for graduate education. And Beth Sursik, class of '84, president of the Case Western Reserve Medical Alumni Association Board. Who finished her half marathon this morning before coming over. So by the way, keep in shape. And also with us is Michael Foe, one of our 2024 Kaiser Permanente Award recipients for excellence in teaching. It is in fact the highest honor that the university bestows to our excellent teachers. So thank you all. I would also like to point out that we are incredibly grateful that a number of our family who are faculty or staff of Case Western Reserve University who may be in the audience or on stage have a child, sibling, or family member who is graduating with us, and I'd like to recognize their support for our university and our School of Medicine. I'd also like to ask, and I mentioned this to the students, to recognize students who have become the first in their family not only to graduate from college, but also to graduate from medical school. And if you are in that category, I would be delighted if you would please rise and be recognized. Thank you, and I think we all recognize how easy it is to look back and how hard it is to look forward, so congratulations to each of you. I would also like to acknowledge that we have a number of students graduating who are family members of individuals who have previously graduated from the university. So if you have that, if you will, legacy heritage, and are second generation, if you will, or sibling generation, of someone who's graduated from our university. Would you please stand? Thank you. Normally, I would then turn the podium over to Leah Logio. She is off graduating her twins in upstate New York, but she did offer to provide a video, and so I hope we can roll the video from Dr. Logio, who is the Vice Dean for Medical Education of the School of Medicine. Leah.
Congratulations, doctors! And congratulations to all of your family and friends who have been on this great adventure with you. I'm sorry not to be there in person, but my twins are graduating college right now as we speak, so I'm celebrating with them. But I'm just as proud of all of you as I am of them. Most of you started when I did, July of 2020, early in the pandemic. We didn't know what was in store for us. But now you are nearly alums of the Case Western Reserve School of Medicine. We have been honored to be part of your journey. We know you will make us proud as you move on to all those places you will go and wondrous things you will do. My wish for you is that you will always find joy and meaning in the care of patients. As a PGY 32, myself, being with the patient remains my happy place. It gives me a sense of purpose to help others in their time of need, to cure often, to care always. I'll leave you with one of my favorite Winston Churchill quotes. Now, this is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
I'd now like to ask Bud Isaacson to offer his remarks.
Thank you, Stan. What an awesome day. What a great day. I'm so proud of all of you, and welcome to everyone coming in from outside of Cleveland. Reflecting back on the fact that COVID hit and so many of you missed the white coat ceremony here, so glad that we can all be together in Severance Hall, this beautiful hall, and celebrate together. And I have one final exam for all of you, but not for the students, actually for the family, friends, and loved ones who are here. But I'm going to give you the answer, okay? So the question is, when you see other people, what did you do today? How was it? What happened? And you can say, I was with the best group of medical students graduating in this country who are now prepared to go out and take on the world. There's really a magic that happens between white coat and graduation, thanks to your hard work and those of your mentors and your supporters. And we were reflecting last night at dinner with our graduation speaker that students who graduate from our medical school are known to be ready to take care of patients, and that's their signature. And there's no one else we want to step out into this complex medical world than our graduates. We are so proud of you, we're so excited for you, and we're here to support you even after you leave. So we hope you stay in touch, and congratulations, class of 2024.
It's now my privilege to introduce Amy Wilson-Delfoss to the podium, and she will introduce our distinguished guest, keynote speaker, and proud alum of Case Western Reserve University, Dr. Monica Lipson.
It is my great honor today to introduce our graduation speaker, Dr. Monica Lipson. Dr. Lipson, an alumna of our very own institution, has carved a prestigious path in the field of medical education, leadership, and clinical practice. After completing her undergraduate studies at Brown University, Dr. Lipson earned her medical degree here at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine. Her postgraduate journey took her to Brigham and Women's Hospital for her residency in internal medicine with a focus on primary care. She further advanced her education with the Robert Wood Johnson Clinical Scholars Program at the University of Chicago and a master's in health professions education from the highly regarded program at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Currently, Dr. Lipson serves as the Vice Dean for Education at Columbia University's Vagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons and holds the esteemed Rolf H. Schuldager Professorship of Medicine at Columbia University Irving Medical Center. Throughout her career, Dr. Lipson has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to enhancing medical education with a focus on health equity, workforce diversity, and integration of innovative educational practices. Prior to her current role, Dr. Lipson was a guiding force in medical and dental education at the Veterans Health Administration and has held significant academic positions at George Washington University School of Medical and Health Sciences and the University of Michigan Medical School. Dr. Lipson's leadership extends beyond institutional roles. She has served as president of the Society of General Internal Medicine and has been deeply involved with the Accreditation Council of Graduate Medical Education and the Association of American Medical Colleges. Her research and scholarly work, which includes over 90 publications, have focused on topics such as resident assessment, moving beyond cultural competence to critical consciousness, and the development of clinical skills in medical practice. Today, as we gather to celebrate the accomplishments of you, the class of 2024, Dr. Lipson stands as a model of inspiration, demonstrating the profound impact that dedicated medical educators can have on both the healthcare landscape and the lives of their students. I can tell you, having spent some time with Dr. Lipson, that you're really in for a treat. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Good afternoon. That introduction only makes my mother smile. And that is what your family and friends are doing right now today on your behalf. Thank you, Dean Gerson. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the profound moment that we're in. We're excited to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2024, but we do need to take a moment because we're doing it in the backdrop of extreme loss of innocent lives in our local and global communities. It is this extreme loss for which I am grateful for the class because they leave me with hope and admiration. It is the very members of the Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, you'll hate filling that out on a form, class of medical students that leave me with the continual hope and conviction that education and the support of our future leaders will be the change that we all want to see. As I transition to this moment of celebration and I set out to write these remarks, I wonder what direction I should take. I could talk about the person I know the most, that would be me, but that seems like a bit self-serving and you already heard the highlights. But you may not realize that Case gave me a little bit more than a medical degree in clinical competence. I walked away with a spouse of over 25 years, and he's doing his parental duty right now over the weekend for our 12 and 17-year-olds, a 17-year-old who too is graduating and had a bunch of stuff this weekend. It's too bad that my spouse cannot hear me say nice things about him. I only do it behind his back anyway. He is my glass ceiling, so I can live my best life and have a career and be here with you today. My sister, the deputy mayor of Chicago, is here. However, she will go and tell her friend, her bestie, my husband, what happened. We come from public school teachers, K through 8, in inner city Chicago. My mother taught me about competency-based education way before it was a thing in medicine, and thus my sister will report back on a scale to 1 to 10 how well I did today, and also provide those areas of improvement. I'm hoping for a solid 7, just a little bit better than average. In addition, they told me not to try to be funny, because if they start laughing, they actually might be laughing at you. So the best thing I can do is be brief, because I'm the one who stands between you and that piece of paper, the thing you've dreamed about since kindergarten, and most importantly, the thing the people in this audience, your support group, have dreamed about for you since kindergarten. So this is their day too. I am not sure why you wanted me to speak. I thought of Marjorie Greenfield, Tony Post, Keith Armitage, Dave Aaron, Jackson Wright, Jeff Ponsky, and most notably, Robert Haney. What would they say if I screwed this up? They were and still are my role models. In my most vulnerable moments, I then reached out to my friends, your trusted role models, Leah Logio, Steve Recanati, and Bug Eisenson, and I wanted to know if I had been punked by the dean. But then I realized many of you were school age when that show came out, and here I am blowing it from the very start. I asked Leah, Bud, and Steve, did they know that the members of the class of 2025 across the country have been my teachers? They showed me the way as an educator. They all reminded me that this is just fear talking, Monica. It's an emotion, it has no real power, and it's the same fear you might be feeling right now about the next steps of your career. So they said, be yourself, tell the truth, and don't go on too long, 15 minutes tops. Nobody wants to listen. So I have 3 lessons. I have those learning objectives. I'm gonna repeat them 3 times so you can take them away. Surround yourself with families and friends where you can be vulnerable, where they can lift you up, and sometimes call your bluff. Work to repair the social contract in medicine, with medicine and the public. And now is the time to recommit for the purpose that you were drawn to. For you all are the giants. So the time is ticking. So the first lesson, surround yourself with friends and family so you can be vulnerable and where they can lift you up and call your bluff. Self-doubt happens all the time, even at my age and stage. See all the comments above. When you are struggling, turn to your chosen people, your family and your friends. They can listen and support and carry a bit of that burden. They can also let you know when you need to get over yourself. That sage prophet, Taylor Swift, noted in her song, "Life is a willow and it bent right to your wind, but I come back stronger than a 90s trend." Those who supported you will allow you to bend and come back. Don't forget about them in the next stage. Burnout is rampant. It is something we all try to step around. It's hard to recognize when we are in its grasp. I worry about your class. I worry you will leave medicine when I personally need you the most, when you are in your prime and I am in my twilight. So in order to combat that reality, lesson number 2. You will be the guide for all of us in the profession to repair the social contract. It's your class that actually has the credibility to do so. We need you to remediate the profession of medicine. It is the CWRU class of 2024 that will reestablish trust between the front lines and management. You work diligently to plaster over the holes you put your fingers in as a student. Your second shift of being a medical student was about the greater Cleveland community. You spent your time with our neighborhood peers to discuss vaccine hesitancy at the state fair and community clinics. You all demanded institutional accountability from those jokers behind me regarding the school's diversity plan. You genuinely wanted to improve the diversity and inclusion at the school. Your pressure and support to those behind me they adopted the 4-point plan, and now it's in version 2.0. It's good to see things that haven't changed. For when I was at Case, this is where I fell in love with medical education. For I would sit in the vice dean's office and complain and complain and complain. And then I went about the work of co-producing educational improvements just like you have. You have been the students at a time of profound legal decisions. You continue to uphold the principles of access to all types of healthcare for all, regardless of where you live. Your focus on equity as a generation is sharp and without remorse. You have the tools of the profession invested in community and in the healthcare system to combat misinformation, disinformation, for you have established that authentic trust with our neighbors and our patients. The transition you're about to experience is complex. The schedule is new and at times out of our hands. The rotation schedule is filled with ups and downs, and yes, you actually still must decide what you want to do when you grow up. The next stage, be it residency, a lab, a business, or a writer, that's not the finish line. Given where you've been, this all can be a little bit scary. So paraphrasing Dr. Taylor again, life is a willow, it bent right to your wind, they count me out time and time again. Remember this when the days are dark, but know that the class of 2024 is perfectly poised to help the profession repair the trust that we have broken and uphold the social contract. Often when you give a graduation speech, it's helpful to listen to others. So Admiral McCraven, when he gave his UT address to Austin in 2014, talked about changing the world by making your bed. On that, I'm not sure I agree. But if you think about who sees you when you make up your bed, maybe you, maybe another person, it's the message that he goes on to note a little bit later. Making your bed correctly is not done to obtain praise. It is done because it's what's expected. To further that analogy, it is when you're at the patient's bedside, when no one is looking. That is when the character counts the most. It is when you can be there for others. This is the type of integrity I learned right here on Euclid that matters. I have found memories of watching Jeff Ponsky, a former chair and leader in surgery, going into a patient's room after long hours in the OR operating on patients with pancreatic cancer. He would go back, speak with the families, and sometimes just hold their hands. He was doing it for the patient. No one was watching, but the impression on me as a young clerk has had an impact on me and my patients for generations to come. I'm not sure he realized I was stalking him. Remember to be grateful in those moments of closeness with the patient, and then be sure to take care of yourself, because you need to get up and make up your bed the next day. So as Dondesky notes, be there for others, but never leave yourself behind. As per lesson number 1, surround yourself with friends and family so you can be vulnerable, where they can lift you up and they can help you keep that vital piece of self. And now for the final lesson. Now it's time to recommit and find that purpose, for you all are giants. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So as I finish, let me tell you about the days of the giants. Giants are seen throughout literature. Each giant often possesses an extraordinary ability representing strengths and potential that resides in all of us. Giants must find strength in adversity. They must overcome doubts, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. But it is precisely in those moments that you have discovered your true potential. Giants, as seen as the members of the class of 2024, have learned that your capacity for growth and resilience knows no bounds. You are the new giants of medicine. You come from a legacy of producing excellent physicians, me included. You're joining an elite group, and remember the journey you've come through. As everyone may recall, many of you were living your best lives in your final year of college or your first year of medical school. Others were completing a project, enjoying a well-deserved break after applying. Most in February 2020 had completed interviews and were anxiously awaiting that big day. Then your world, our world, collapsed. Some of you went home to learn, many had no graduation, and no one knew what would happen. The military analogies are often misplaced, but I indulge our veterans for just a moment. In this case, we did know the enemy. However, we were unsure how to protect ourselves. Our uniforms changed, and you had to navigate the unknown. Later, you continued either into your second year of medical school, but usually virtually or in a hybrid format. You were aching to be doctors, yet not sure how to help. How do you process that change, that disorientation, that grief? Your commitment to the citizenry and to medicine was already there, so you knew you had to act, and then you did. You went out to the community, both inside and outside the hospital. By the end of the first year of the pandemic, you were, in fact, the experts in the room, especially in regarding to community-based participatory action. Your inquiry and research acumen were beyond belief by that time. Remember, you were teaching the attendings how to take care of our neighbors, not patients, but those who had often been ignored. And when you were allowed in the clinical arena, you rolled up your sleeves and demanded to take care of all patients, including those with COVID. As an educator, I want to remind you that the best learning is learning that is filled with effort. Effort-filled learning is the learning that sticks. Think about your current expertise in respiratory medicine, critical care, renal disease, post-infectious sequelae, or more, and you're only been a medical student for 4, 5, 8, 9 years. Remember those stories of your years as a student and a resident. Tell the stories of the highs and lows. Telling of the stories is therapeutic and heals many wounds. Just be careful. Don't be like those fake giants back there who like to rub it into your face and tell you about the days of yore. Know that you as young giants were strong and carried the social contract. When the older giants didn't do enough to combat misinformation, you knew how to take to social media and tell the public what was going on. The older giants often start their stories by saying things like, "We didn't have work hours, we were here all the time." You tell them as new giants, "We work to maintain work hours so we can be here all the time." The focus needed to don and doff takes expertise and grace. It took a level of focus never seen before. You remind them that education rules were suspended for a while, so there, you've upped their work hour claims. Remember, you were working in the streets, meeting patients where they're at, when most of our neighbors were at home. I worked in the deadly pandemic of the 20th century. I witnessed death beyond belief. It took us years to find the etiology of HIV. My first experience of a patient death was at UH Hospital, when I was one of the founding directors of the Cleveland Ballet. He was dying of AIDS. Jay Wish and Keith Armitage showed me how, and then reassured me as I sat with him and his partner and held their hands. It was powerful to be fully present, to witness the care, even when we had no more medicines to give. I have not violated HIPAA, the stories in the plain dealer. Nevertheless, you need to remind those elderly giants that you too worked in a global pandemic in the early 21st century and witnessed death beyond belief. But fear was not only about your patients, it included yourself and family. Your cohort quickly figured out how to get the music in, how to care for the caregivers, and how to contribute and spread the message on social media, a platform that didn't even exist in the days of yore. The old giants have many stories about call rooms and having fun in the hospital. The new giants say, "Fun? We have treatments galore, feedback on feedback, test scores beyond your wildest dreams, and we navigated the match like you couldn't even imagine." Over the course of your time in medical school, we all witnessed the miracle of science within a 10-month window. Our clinicians, our scientists, our epidemiologists learned a thing or two from those elderly giants and moved on with the technology to assist in saving the world. You are the new giants who protested in the streets with patients and family and loved ones about the inequalities in the world. Unlike others, you didn't leave them behind. You, the new giants, continue to bring those demands to the power brokers to change the system. You joined in and didn't watch from the sidelines. So to reiterate, you have been living the days of the giants. You stand tall in your height and oversee the vast accomplishments that you had as a class of 2024. But remember, giants have responsibilities. You are not only the future leaders in medicine, science, and the intersections with society, you must focus on system change. You know the lands better than anyone else participating. But being a giant is not about just personal success. It is about lifting up others. Giants often live in close-knit groups, and thus you must embrace collaboration, empathy, and compassion. You must use your talents to serve others, improve communities, and leave a positive and lasting impact on the world. Role model your work like the other famous CASE graduate, David Satcher, who noted, to improve the health of the nation, we must improve the health of the most vulnerable. As you are the teachers of the future, think about the lessons learned as giants and how you can improve the healthcare environment. So my few minutes are up, and I hope you recall those learning objectives. Remember to always surround yourself with friends and family where you can be vulnerable, where they can lift you up and they can call your bluff. Continue to galvanize each other to work to repair the social contract with the public and with medicine. And finally, commit to your purpose, for you all are giants. Thank you for your patience today. From the class of 1996, I wish every single one of you, the graduates of Case Western Reserve University, a long, engaging career, for I need you when you're in your prime, and I'm in my twilight. Thank you.
Monica, that was absolutely wonderful, and I watched our graduates as much as I watched you, and you had, if I counted correctly, 418 eyes looking at you for the entire time and soaking it in. So thank you for those wonderful comments. We do have a gift to commemorate. I'll keep it here. Thank you very much, Dr. Lipson. So I think I've run out of things to say, so I think it's probably time for us to give out some diplomas. I'm pretty sure that's why we're all here. So I'm going to invite us to get into our places. Dr. Roland Seymour and Dr. Isaacson will be at the diploma table. Our welcomers, society deans, will be joining the hood. Our senior associate deans and our invited guest, Dr. Lipson, will offer congratulations. And none other than Lena Mehta will be identifying and announcing the names. And one may applaud and one may take pictures throughout the time. So thank you.
Dean Gerson, can I borrow you for a second?
Sure.
As we've all heard, this is a super special graduation, I think. I know we have professional photographers, but I feel like we should do a selfie with our students. All right, let's do this. Okay, ready? All right, thank you. What a good sport. All right, graduates, please come forward when you hear your name. Dr. Emily Dr. Maliha Ahmad. Dr. Sydney Atkinson. Dr. Christian Akatoye. Dr. Alice Alexander. Dr. Nathan Aman. Dr. Crystal Ann. Dr. Trenley Anderson. Dr. Wyatt Anderson. Dr. Harmon Arach. Dr. Allison Oriema. Dr. Mina Ayad. Dr. Lauren Bailey. Dr. Rachel Bank. Dr. Brendan Barton. Dr. Alexander Burke. Dr. Summer Butt. Dr. Hiruk Butt. Dr. Isha Butada. Dr. Victoria Blaga. Dr. Lucas Bobek. Dr. Joseph Bogart. Dr. Graham Buchan. Dr. Andrew Berkey. Dr. Laura Burns. Dr. Jeffrey Butke. Dr. Ashley Cantu Weinstein. Dr. Isabel Carter. Dr. Adrija Chaturvedi. Dr. Elizabeth Chen. Dr. Mary Chong. Dr. Robert Clark. Dr. Aidan Kuhn. Dr. Mary Cowden. Dr. Thomas Swalina. Dr. Audrey DeLong. Dr. Dustin DeMayo. Dr. Victoria Dang. Dr. Chong Yoon Do. Dr. Connor Dolson. Dr. Alexander Dombrowski. Dr. Oliver Dong. Dr. Melindy Dorson. Dr. Samyukta Dore. Dr. Ian Dorney. Dr. Megan Dukes. Dr. Taylor Esquin. Dr. Bernard Evenhouse. Dr. Magdalena Fay. Dr. Julia Feinstein. Dr. Bezu Feng. Dr. Linnea Fisher. Dr. Meredith Fisher. Dr. Michael Foster. Dr. Jacqueline Frazier. Dr. Madeline Garb. Dr. Benjamin George. Dr. Adrian Gomez Nguyen. Dr. Jameson Gordon. Dr. Jorge Gutierrez III. Dr. Omar Hamza. Dr. Samuel Harwood. Dr. Pranay Hegde. Dr. Isabella Hendrickson. Dr. Jennifer Hess. Dr. Jane Hinkle. Dr. Isabel Ho. Dr. Maya Holmes. Dr. Grant Hum. Dr. Lucille Hu. Dr. Rena Hung. Dr. Divya Jasti. Dr. Kendra Jeans. Dr. Tarun Jella. Dr. Alexandra Johnson. Dr. Kevin Johnson. Dr. Sean Johnson. Dr. William Julian. Dr. Roshni Kailar. Dr. Samuel Kalnitsky. Dr. Mehek Kalra. Dr. Hannah Kelly. Dr. Susie Kim. Dr. Uriel Kim. Dr. Jacqueline Cluse. Dr. Madhukar Kumar. Dr. Saloni Ladd. Dr. Marina Latif. Dr. Adam Laukow. Dr. Vitrice Lemate. Dr. Lizbeth Lebo. Dr. Nora Lee. Dr. Nora Lenhard. Dr. Amanda Liu. Dr. Brian Liu. Dr. Darren Liu. Dr. Zaim Lone. Dr. Jesus Gabriel Lopez Rivera. Dr. Catherine Lowe. Dr. Angela Liu. Dr. John McLean. Dr. Arushi Mahajan. Dr. Michael Mann. Dr. Emily Manning. Dr. Ariadna Moreiro. Dr. Marquise Maynard. Dr. Madeline McCabe. Dr. Matthew McCabe. Dr. Olivia McCluskey. Dr. Mark Megarian. Dr. Vidushri Marotra. Dr. Lee Malubin. Dr. William Miller Little. Dr. Zubin Mishra. Dr. Maria Moncaliano. Dr. Sherry Mortach. Dr. Kathleen Mulligan. Dr. Leanne Mulvihill. Dr. Adam Munn. Dr. Carlos Munoz Lopez. Dr. Kareem Nam. Dr. Christian Negron Roland. Dr. Abraham Nirapol. Dr. Dakota Nolner. Dr. Derek Obiri Yaboa. Dr. David O. Dr. Amanda Akonma. Dr. Andrew Osborne. Dr. Precious Oyem. Dr. Teresa Papich. Dr. Sarah Park. Dr. Maeve Pasco. Dr. Adina Paul. Dr. Yvonne Pei. Dr. Jordan Pettit. Dr. Lauren Poston. Dr. Abdulrahman Rahmi. Dr. Dia Ramanathan. Dr. Suruchi Ramanujan. Dr. Elizabeth Rao. Dr. Harika Reddy. Dr. Alexandra Regal. Dr. Gustavo Reversi. Dr. Rebecca Russell. Dr. Michael Ryan. Dr. George Saeed. Dr. Sami Sinai. Dr. Shlok Serene. Dr. Jessica Scarborough. Dr. George Scheider IV. Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr. Michael Shost. Dr. Zoe Silsby. Dr. Jaspreet Singh. Dr. Srinidhi Singuri. Dr. Sydney Song. Dr. Kenneth Stamper. Dr. Henry Stitzel. Dr. Marie Sue. Dr. James Sullivan. Dr. Alex Sun. Dr. Abhilash Suresh. Dr. Anna Swetz. Dr. Aaron Talsma. Dr. Nicholas Tan. Dr. Anna Tanaka. Dr. Anthony Tsai. Dr. Matthew Thompson. Dr. Samantha Tidd. Dr. Sophia Thoe. Dr. Emma Toth. Dr. Alicia Vagnozzi. Dr. Tanvi Vati. Dr. Shweta Vazhapali. Dr. Sarah Venus. Dr. Rachel Weitzman. Dr. Christina Wang. Dr. Margaret Wang. Dr. Philip Wang. Dr. Iran Wang. Dr. Angela Wei.
Yes.
Dr. Ilan Weinstein. Dr. Georgina Whalen. Dr. Tyler White. Dr. Nicole Winchester. Dr. Kaylin Workman. Dr. Kevin Shu. Dr. Kian Yagubnejad. Dr. Jennifer Yang. Dr. Lucy Yang. Dr. Eileen Yu. Dr. Sinri Zhang. Dr. Kevin Zhu. Dr. Victoria Blaga. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Wow. I'm just glad I'm not the umpire at a tennis match trying to keep it quiet around here. Thank you for your enthusiasm, and honestly, thank you for the recognition of our incredible graduates who, along with all of you, have an incredible future in front of us. There's one serious item left on our agenda, and that is to ask Dr. Stephen Riccinati to lead us in a significant moment, and that is the recitation of the Hippocratic Oath by our graduates and those of us on stage. Dr. Riccinati.
Thank you, Dean Gerson. At matriculation, all medical students work together to craft their own oath of medical professionalism. The recitation of that oath marked their formal entrance into the study of medicine. Today, class, you have earned the right to recite the Hippocratic Oath, which marks your formal entry into the profession of medicine. Will the class stand and turn to page 19 of your program? I also invite every other physician in the house to stand and recite their oath and renew it in solidarity with the graduating class. I will get you started. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit consideration of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations.
I'm going to let our graduates be seated, and I'm going to ask them to do me one little favor today, and that is to find a pen, sign your name, and add MD. Today marks your induction into the community of healers. Ours is a profession of more than 2,500 years in the making. That's where the Hippocratic Oath comes from, and we need to keep it in mind. Every day we are working to combat both age-old and newly emerging diseases and disorders, address social determinants of health and their effect on all of us, and to pioneer discoveries that will enhance wellness, promote healing worldwide, and take care of those diseases for which we find no treatment. As Dr. Lipson's remarks and incredible career and challenges and accomplishments reflect, look inward and you will find your own strength. You be the champion and take your degree forward remembering all that you've learned here. And just remember, we're here to help. We're here to be your colleagues and assist you along the way. So to our newest physician colleagues, doctors of the class of 2024, we wish you the best. Well done and a bright future to all. If you will allow us, we will have an academic procession from those on the podium here first, and then our graduating class, and we will head up the street to the reception at the Biomedical Research Building, which is straight up the street. For those of you who haven't been there, you can follow us along. And for those of us who would benefit from a shuttle, it's a short walk, but there'll be a shuttle back and forth for the rest of the time. So if you will, we'll begin with our procession out, and thank you all for the wonderful morning.